All right. It's the Hollywood Squares. All right. So I've got here Maria Sorrentino. I've got Michelle Coy, Alan Foyer, and I'm sorry, ma'am. What is your name?
Laura Bohr.
Laura Bohr.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
and Taylor Hughes.
and Taylor Hughes. There you go.
Yes.
All right. So we're all here. And I have no idea why I'm here, but I was just asked to be here, so I'm here. So when Maria calls and says, "Can we be on the podcast?" I'll do it. So no worries. But I guess you guys want to talk about an event you guys got going on leadership, which I am actually, me and Ermi were talking this weekend about us attending that event too. Yeah, so we're making plans to be there.
Okay.
I was gonna book the flight and I was gonna book everything this weekend, and it's just been hectic. But yeah, we're gonna be there. So
you haven't lived till you've been to Kalamazoo.
no, I was in Michigan a couple of years ago in Traverse City.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it was December, I think. And it was cold for me. I'm in Florida, for those of you.
Not so beautiful in December.
Yeah,
Right.
but I was right near the lake, and I did get to see snow flurries while I was there, so that was cool because I hadn't seen snow in like 20 something years.
Wow.
So yeah, if everybody wants to introduce themselves, Maria, and go I guess from left to right. I don't know how you guys are seeing it, but
Okay. So Maria Sorrentino, I own Pest Pros of Michigan, and Taylor works at Pest Pros as well. We started a little side passion project called Hive Mind Consulting. And so we just host professional development stuff. And so professional development and personal development is really a passion of ours. And so this is just kind of our side thing, and we like to have fun and learn. So when we first started discussing this, we talked to Alan and we said, hey, we really love leadership, and there's this need for real leadership in our industry. Would you be interested? And that's kind of how we got going with this. And then do you want to?
That's pretty much.
Yeah. So this is this is our third series. And so we've kind of been across the country, but this one we're going to have in our own backyard. We're going to do it at our office. And we're going to have a little bit of a treat too, because Paul Bello is going to be here a couple days before doing some technical training with our team. And so we're going to open that up for anybody who's interested in just joining for that too. So we've got that. And then we've got the leadership series on Saturday and Sunday. We don't actually speak in the leadership. We're learning with everybody else. So I'll let them speak more to like what their strengths are and what they're going to be speaking about.
So I'm Michelle Coy. I'm a business and leadership strategist. I have a background in accounting, so I can bring the accounting aspect in with my leadership aspect so people can understand the value they're investing in their employees and how it impacts their financial statements. And so I come into it with a little bit softer touch of leadership. And for this particular one, I will be specializing in DISC. So your dominance, influential, steadiness, and compliance, personality tests, and explaining how, doing a recap of how that affects communication and leadership within your organization.
Laura?
Right. So I'll go. Yes. So I am, I guess I'll call myself a professional development geek. Does that align with you? Right. So
You're in good company.
Right. I actually have been in leadership across a few different industries, medical device and technology for about 30 years. So I come with a great deal of experience in hiring. I've made a lot of mistakes and learned along the way and had a lot of successes as well. So I think one of the things, the biggest learning I've had in my career is how important process is and really being intentional when you're making hiring decisions. And so that's one of the strengths that I hope to bring, and I hope to be able to share some of the learnings and the processes and really get to know the people who are coming to the seminar and seeing what we can do to help them really grow in those areas for their business as well. So I'm new to the podcast world, so give me some grace.
That was excellent.
Thank you.
So, Alan, what are you going to do?
Well, your listeners got to meet me about a month ago. We had a good one-on-one talking about standard operating procedures and the things that live in and around and behind standard operating procedures. And really, my passion right now, as I wind up my career, is to see people win. And it really doesn't matter the industry, but obviously our industry, pest management, is something I know intimately. So I've got the pedigree to speak to the operational and developmental side of what pest management looks like. And what we've done, this is actually the third in the series. We start off with leadership fundamentals, and we took it up to the next level, which we included Michelle's DISC profiles, where it's like understanding who people are, where they're at in their life continuum, their personality, how they like to communicate, where they struggle to communicate, their strengths and weaknesses, just in their drive to achieve whatever they might achieve. And so these are all important things that we look for. And in this series, what we're going to talk about really is about development of people. And so I think that the triad here, the three of us, not, Maria and Taylor, are going to facilitate and host this and make sure everything is good to go. We appreciate that. I never forget the tech team that makes things happen for us. But the rest of us that are going to be involved in being the presenters on this one are going to talk about onboarding people. That's going to be a lot of what Laura does, making sure that we're doing better interviews. I think I'm not even sit here and pretend I'm an interviewing guru, because I'm not. I usually just ask a bunch of open-ended questions and let people just go on. And what I would say is that the interview process, and Laura may agree with me, it's not simply, hey, I liked your interview, you're hired. I believe the interview process is you've heard the term perhaps hire hard, manage easy. I don't believe it's a point in time or a line. It's this continuum. And I'd like to think that we're onboarding people for the first 90 days to 6 months. And at any point in time, this may not be a good fit for the parties. But we have a role as the leaders to have a plan. Everything's intentional. I think that's the term that came up here. Our conversation, Franklin, starting from a Facebook post, was about intentionality of standard operating procedures. You should have a standing operating procedure for how you onboard people and how you develop them. Okay. And not everyone's you can't slam everybody just to a peg into a hole. However, you better figure out what their passion is, where their strengths are, where some of their weaknesses are, and how would they fit into your organization, if at all. And so that's a lot of what we're going to talk about during this process.